What's up, my smidgens? That's right, I'm calling you smidgens, because that's what I can do if I like. I can call you things, because I'm a person, you're an audience, and I can do that. So hello, everyone. Today's match is against Zephyr, who's an awesome guy. Zephyr, actually, if you haven't checked him out already, click the link in the description, go check his channel, very awesome dude. And this was taken a few long time ago, I guess. I can't quite remember when, but it was an interesting match. So let's just get into it. I'm using the Ferris team, which means that I'm using Victini, Mixtini, Martini, as you can see, which is lovely because I'm going to go for the Overheat to start with on Bronzong. I'm expecting Stealth Rock or maybe just an Earthquake for him to get rid of me from the start, but he's actually going to go for a Toxic, which I believe is not that common on Bronzong. It's kind of interesting he's running Toxic on it, but it still works for any kind of Bronzong set. It's a good Protect Toxic type Pokemon, so it's a decent thing to use. So I'm just going to go for the Fusion Bolt here because Bronzong was at a range where Fusion Bolt would kill it anyway, and if he decides to switch to something like, say, this Jellicent, that thing is going to get smacked in the face by a Life Orb Fusion Bolt. It's not going to enjoy taking that very much, obviously, as you can see, and it's a clean 2-hit KO, so Jellicent is easily killable from this range, and I don't really want to over-predict. It is early game, but he could rack up, you know, Life Orb and Toxic damage, so predicting would be nice here and there if I can pull it off, but I'm just going to go for the safe Fusion Bolt again. In comes Zapdos. Doesn't take it too nicely, and judging from how much it takes, I know that I'm easily going to be able to kill it with a V-Create from this point. So I'm going to opt to go for the V-Create. I don't think anything on his team wants to take a V-Create. I guess he could have gone to Bronzong to sacrifice that, and then brought Zapdos in consequentially. Zapdos would then have outsped Victini and been able to kill it. But it doesn't really matter what he sends in, because after this turn, Victini is going to be at the point where after Life Orb and Poison damage, I am going to die. So did a really nice job early game, cleaned out Bronzong pretty much, the thing's almost dead, took Jellicent down to a range where it's killable, and took out Zapdos. So I'm looking really nice here, like really blah blah blah. I'm really looking good, I guess is what I'm saying. But in comes Jellicent. I'm thinking Electros can just kill it with a Thunderbolt, but yeah, apparently Jellicent's faster than my Electros, so unfortunately Elo is not going to be able to outspeed him. Thunderbolt is going to do around the same amount as Recover. If you can tell, Recover is going to gain him more HP, so in the long run, if he wanted to, he could potentially go for Recover and continue going for it until he got to a good amount of HP where he could just hit me with whatever move he decided to. But I see that he could do that, and therefore I'm going to go for the Toxic, hoping to hit the Jellicent and then eventually kill it with Thunderbolt. But doesn't really matter because in comes Bronzong to dodge the Toxic and consequentially die from a Thunderbolt. So in comes Kyurem, which I don't really know what it's going to hit me with. I suspected Draco, but that could miss, I guess, so he didn't really want to go for it. He's going to go for the Ice Beam, which does an absolute crap ton to me. I am a defensive variant of Electros, and I should be able to take hits relatively well, but I don't think it's Specs. I'm not quite sure. If it was Specs, it may have done a little bit more than that, but I can't really judge from that range. It might be Specs, it might not be. I haven't seen Life Orb recoil, so it very well could be. But I'm going to go into Metagross to take the Ice Beam and see how much that Ice Beam does on a resisted hit on a Metagross. I'm thinking it must be Specs. I mean, what else is it going to be? It should be at this point. So that's what my kind of thought process is. It's Specs. I'm going to try and roll with that. So I'm going to go for the Trick on the switch, which is fantastic because I get the Jellicent on the switch in. But not so fantastic is the fact here that I decide to stay in. I basically forget that Jellicent has Will-O-Wisp, or I assumed he was running Scald and not Will-O-Wisp, but he's probably just running Will-O-Wisp with I don't know what the hell else, but he's running Will-O-Wisp in any case, and unfortunately for me, he's going to be able to burn my Metagross. I just sped this section up because essentially I have him locked in with Pursuit, and there's no point in him switching because he's going to die on the switch out, because he's Choice Scarf locked into Will-O-Wisp, so I'm just going to trap him, kill him eventually after 3 hits with a Pursuit, and in comes Espeon, which is the bane of my life, the bane of my existence in this game. So I'm not really sure what it wants to do. do. On the off chance he just wants to go for a Psychic or just any kind of special hit, I'm going to go to Vaporeon to hopefully take it. This is a more physically defensive Vaporeon, so it's not going to take special hits that nicely. But I actually, is it? I can't remember. I might have some special defense investment. I can't remember what Ferris and I chose. But I make a really kind of ballsy and kind of risky play here. I go to Fortress, predicting him to Calm Mind again, thinking that Vaporeon couldn't do anything to retaliate against Espeon. But apparently he's just going to go for the Psychic on the switch, which is going to break my Sturdy. What I wanted to do was come in with Fortress, live a hit, and hit him with a Gyro Ball, hopefully taking him down, and after Life Orb recall to where I could revenge him with Dragonite, but unfortunately it's not going to happen. Dragonite's going to come in here, and this is really my last line of defense I have against Espeon. I'm going to Dragon Dance up, knowing that I can live one hit after the multi-scale, even though I don't take it that nicely. You know, I'm at 155, which is a decent-ish amount of health, and I can, relatively speaking, do some decent sweeping here. So I'm just going to go straight out for the Earthquake, hit the Scizor on the switch in, and this is a difficult situation because I could save Dragonite for Espeon, which I really should do, but instead of saving it, I'm going to go for the Extreme Speed on the Scizor. I know he has Bullet Punch, and I know he's most likely Choice Banded, and he's going to use Bullet Punch, so Extreme Speed has the greater priority. I do have +1 speed as well, and I outspeed Scizor anyway, but unfortunately for me, Extreme Speed is going to troll me to hell with min-max damage, and he lives with like negative 87.5% of a smidgen. I'm just mind blown that he did live that, and it really makes me sad in my heart, which is going to make this game a lot more difficult for me to come back into. So I really did need I'm either going to want to have Elo at high health or decentish health to take on the Espeon, or I wanted to have Dragonite. Unfortunately, Dragonite is gone, so I'm going to have to work around using a burnt Metagross, Vaporeon, and freaking whatever is Elo's guy, the Electros, to try and kill that Espeon, because that thing is really the only thing standing in my way. QRM isn't too much of a issue for me. I'm just going to sacrifice Metagross here because I didn't want Electros taking an Ice Beam. He's going to go for the Shadow Ball anyway, which is going to take out Metagross after a couple of turns. I don't carry Bullet Punch, otherwise I would have definitely gone for it at one of those Metagross turns, but unfortunately I don't. So QRM is going to be able to come out of that exchange relatively nicely. If I did have Bullet Punch, it would have probably meant that at this scenario I could have come in with Vaporeon, my glass of water, gone for a Wish, and if I'd gone for a Wish, then he would have died to Toxic on this turn, provided there was a Bullet Punch on him. Unfortunately, I'm going to have to go for the Surf here, because if I didn't go for the Surf, then he wouldn't have died from Toxic this turn. He would have had too much HP. But the unfortunate thing about that is that I'm left relatively vulnerable here. He's got Scizor left, and he has Espeon left, and both of those guys paired up together are going to be able to take out my Vaporeon using a combination of a Choice Band Bug Bite and a Life Orb Psychic. So I'm going to be able to get off the Surf onto the Scizor. That thing is going to go down after it's like 1 HP or whatever the hell it lived with. I don't know what it lived with. But unfortunately, Espeon's going to come in here. I know that I probably cannot take a Life Orb Psychic. Espeon's special attack is pretty damn high, actually. So he's going to hit me with it. I'm going to go down. I have just Electros left, who's at about half health. I'm thinking maybe I can be able to take the hit, maybe paralyze him with a Thunderbolt, and then follow up with the kill. And I'm hoping I live the Psychic. I really am. But unfortunately, a Life Orb Espeon Psychic is going to be too much for Elo to handle, and he's going to go down to that hit. But it's a really narrow 1-0 victory. Espeon was Zeph's last poke, and he after Victini cleaning up early game, yeah, I made a couple of mistakes with the Fortress, and I probably should have saved Dragonite, but I guess that's all part of the game, and it's in hindsight. And yeah, just he managed to put me into some pressurized situations where I couldn't really do anything about it. So anyway, that's going to be a video for today. What I want you to check out is a couple of videos I have on the screen. The first one is the Last Resort podcast. It's about an hour and 20 minutes. Recorded it with Fizzy and Tony Flygon the other day. Definitely recommend you go check that out. I'm just a big advocate of podcasts in general, so I'm on it, and so's Fizz, and so's Tony, and we have a good time. And then we have a special guest appearance at the end, which is cool. So definitely go check out the Last Resort podcast. And then the second video, which Nick is just uploaded, Nick and Stevo from our Minecraft shenanigans are doing a survival map together. I think that they are doing some like Skyblock. I think they're doing Skyblock survival, which should be really, really fun to watch. So I'm gonna definitely be looking forward to watching those guys play some Minecraft. Unfortunately, because I don't have the ability to do Minecraft while I'm at uni, because they block all the ports here. I'm just gonna, those guys are gonna do some stuff on their own for a bit, and it's gonna go up on Nick's channel. So I highly recommend you check Nick's channel out, and go subscribe to him if you want the Minecraft content from Nick and Stevo. Should be a good laugh to watch. So yeah, those are my two links. Check out the Twitter, Facebook, and Tumblr links all in the description, and I guess I'll see you guys on Thursday. So have fun. See you guys soon. Bye.